Jana Comeaux. So she got to be from down here somewhere. She ain't got to update our name. So Comeaux. She's a wife and a mother of three. She is currently the truancy coordinator for the Terrebonne Parish District Attorney's Office, as well as a coordinator for the prosecutor's early intervention program. She is here to tell us her testimony of how she found the St. Anne community. Please welcome Ms. Jana Comeaux.
Everybody extend your hand over Janae. Lord God, we ask you to give you the wisdom to Janae. Give her the confidence. Give her the words she needs to speak and the words we need to hear. We ask this in your name, and Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen.
Okay, can you hear me? Yes. So how did I end up at St. Anne? Let me just tell you, everything these gentlemen talked about tonight, connectivity, those tendrils of connectivity is strong in this church. Very, very strong. I'll give you a little background about myself first, just because then the end of the story will make a little more sense. I come from a Baptist background, was raised Baptist, baptized at 14. Strong in my church through high school and college, became a mom and got exhausted and really lazy. And so my three children have kind of grown up. I have two teenagers now and a 20-year-old, and they kind of grew up with no exposure to religion, which as a parent, I find, I really kind of failed in that area, but now we're trying to correct that. So fast forward, 4 years ago we moved to Houma, and I started at the DA's office. A year after I started, two wonderful women from your community started working with me, and I have to name them because my story wouldn't be the same without them. One is Lisa Laperouse, the other is Myra Stufley. A year after that, Lisa Rogers joined our work family. So you can imagine, if you know these three women, just me being around them, and I would tell them this, but just me being around them and hearing them talk about their faith, and they were going to church to do this, and they were going to church, I was like, well, I don't have anything like that. I'm totally missing out on something, missing something, and it really made me have a yearning for something that I didn't have, and I didn't have at home, and something that I wasn't sharing with my children. So I, of course, ask tons of questions, and I joke and say that, we have Myra and the Lisas at work, and I should be their agent or their manager, because it sounds like they should be a band. So Myra and the Lisas, we have this big red couch in our office, and it kind of is our talking couch. And they would talk very openly about their faith, and I would ask questions, and they always answered every question I asked. So about a year ago, we have this parenting program, and it's not very great, it's not very functional, but another tendril of connectivity. It was a way for Lisa to ask me to come here and teach that class on the nights of religion. So that afforded me the opportunity to come and meet some fantastic ladies, and knowing that the material of that program was not very great, it allowed us as women and mothers to kind of bond. So now I have some other little connections here as well. Fast forward even, my daughter decided to become Catholic through St. Louis. So she went through RCIA last year and was doing that whole process. So I'm now with Myra and the Lisas, witnessing them. I'm witnessing my daughter have this change in her faith. And then my son Cooper decided he wanted to be communed, which I informed him that probably wasn't the accurate word, but that we would totally make it happen. And he has. He was baptized here with Father Alex at Easter. And so kind of this whole family transformation is taking place. So we're at work on the day of St. Joseph's altar, and our office is right across from St. Francis. And Myra, being our most stubborn friend, I think, she asked me if I want to walk across with her, and I'm kind of like, well, I don't know what that is, so she's like, no, let's go. Yes, ma'am. So we walk across, and y'all, literally, I think I asked 1,000 questions. It was amazing, and I can truly say that that was my conversion experience, because being in that room, seeing all the cookies and the breads, and it was so visual, and you could touch, and then they had all the things that you could read, and it was all things that I knew from my Baptist background, and I really thought that Catholicism was very different from my Baptist religion. So we get back the next day. Lisa's at work, and I'm like bombarding her with questions. Thank goodness she's patient. She answered all the questions, and she basically said, I said, Lisa, you know, everything that I read over there, I knew. It wasn't foreign materials, and I thought that this was so different. I thought your faith was very different from mine. She said, not at all. She said, and she kind of did her hands, and she said, started out as Jewish, right? I'm telling this right. And then came Catholicism. From Catholicism, all of the other religions broke off. And when they broke off, they each only took a small slice of what they truly believed in, and that's what they taught as their religion. And it was a light bulb moment for me. From my experience the day before, I kind of tilted my head, and I was like, this whole time I've only had a slice of the pie? Like, I want the whole pie. And so that has kind of been my journey to get here. So, you know, I love that everybody's talking about connections, because I have truly experienced the connections that you all offer, and my family and I are taking those connections, I feel like, and running with them. So, you know, my daughter is coming to teach religion this year now that she's confirmed, and my husband and I are going to do RCIA starting this year in August with whoever's teaching it. I'm up for whatever. So just be prepared. I asked tons of questions. Whoever's going to be teaching, be prepared. So at least I can tell you, you have to be patient with me. So that's my journey. It was, you know, it just kind of all happened. And Lisa will always say to me, that happened for a reason. That was supposed to happen. You know that happened for a reason, right? She says that to me all the time. And as I look back 3 years ago when I met them, I was totally supposed to be with those ladies, and I think I'm totally supposed to be here. So I just thank y'all for being so welcoming. And that's it. That's my story.